What's up, everybody? It's Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome to another MX vs. ATV custom track game, MX vs. ATV Reflex custom track gameplay. This is Anaheim 1, 2018 Anaheim 1, which I know I'm a little late in talking about playing whatever. I think this was released a couple days after the real-life Anaheim 1, although I could be wrong about that. And this track was done by KTM 6060. Or 6060, or whatever, I don't know, whatever you want to call them. And it's a pretty good rendition of it. I really like playing it. It's got a good flow. I like how realistically scaled all the rhythm sections and such are. Like, it's all pretty kind of tied together and not huge or unrealistic, so it makes it feel a little bit more like a real supercross track. I think you could have done with maybe bumping up that triple size just a little bit, like it's a little small. Takeoff wise and everything. Landing's probably about the right size, but yeah, in general I feel like the scaling of this is pretty well done. The dirt holds you back pretty well. I mean, visually it looks good. Everything about it looks pretty good, and it's a fun track to play as well, so I like it. It's a good rendition of it, no doubt about that. And I definitely recommend playing it if I were you guys, but that's just my personal opinion. You can make your own judgment. So I'm going to rip around this track a little bit and have a little bit of fun. Why not? Doesn't hurt. And one of these days I'm going to get this rhythm section cleanly. You can go 3-3-3 pretty easy in it, which obviously I've not made look that easy. But it's really not terribly hard to get. You just have to get the 3 in, and then the rest of the rhythm section comes pretty easily. I like the ruts that he put into the track before the finish, before the whoops. It kind of adds a couple different options instead of just trying to swing wide and rail everything. Yeah, I mean, this track is just generally well built, I feel like. I haven't even tried this inside rut here yet, but obviously double-double. In real life, they were double-doubling that. I didn't see one person all day long go triple-single, just because it killed your momentum so badly for the triple. So it's honestly a lot easier to triple single in this game. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way he built it, but that just wasn't a line that they were taking, and that's not KTM 6060's fault. I mean, there's only so much you can restrict people from doing in a video game that people would not do or actually will do in real life. I think it's just the way that those guys chose to soak up those couple bumps. It didn't work to go triple single, I guess. I don't really have a good answer for why they weren't doing it more. I also don't have a good answer for why in that section after the Supercross finish line jump right there, guys were not swinging wide more often and tripling into the corner. Now in this version of the track you can't, because the KTM 6060 built it off of the blueprint, would be my guess. He didn't make changes based off of the real Anaheim one. So, like, this rhythm section even right here had one less jump in it in real life. So in this game, you can go 3-3-3 in it. In real life, they were going 2-3-3 if they were doing anything large in the rhythm section. Otherwise, they would double-double or double-triple-double or whatever. So the track in real life was a little bit different, and what I mean by the finish line is that right here, if you went over the finish line, you could swing and miss this first little inside hump and then triple all the way to the corner. And I saw Tyler Bowers and Aaron Plessinger both do it quite often, and to me it seemed faster, and it set you up really good on the inside of the corner, so it was really good for passing. Roxon actually passed Bowers, and then Bowers passed him back doing that line, so I was kind of surprised, you know, they weren't trying it more often. I guess it was just what everybody was comfortable with, and obviously everybody has Lit Pro and Dartfish and all this stuff, so I'm not saying that they didn't know what line was fast. I'm just saying from the naked eye, it seemed like doing that line was a little bit faster, but I could be wrong. But obviously in this version of it, you can't do that, because on the track map, which was the blueprint and then the 3D rendering, they had this little kinked double thing through this corner instead of the inside only being the section of the track that was the jump. So, like I said, I think the KTM 6060 built it way more off of the blueprint, and like I said, I think it was released after Anaheim 1, but if it was released before, then that makes total sense. If it was after Anaheim 1, I would say that, he just did it off the blueprint and didn't want to change anything, which is totally fine, because that's how they do it in Sim. That's how they did it in MX's ATV Supercross Encore last year with the replica tracks that were released prior to the event. There were several things wrong with those tracks as compared to what was happening in real life. So, like I said, only so much you can do. You can't guess what they're going to be doing on the track, or what jump they're going to leave or take out or whatever, because let's say if he did guess and say, let's take out the outside of that little double section, so you can go wide and triple around the corner. Well, what happens if they did leave it like that in real life? Then you look like an idiot because you changed something that they didn't change, and you know what I mean. So, based off of the blueprint, I don't think you could build this track much better than the way that KTM 6060 built it. It's a fantastic replica. It has great flow. I like how in this first rhythm section he made it possible to go 3-4, which was absolutely not the case in real life, and they built that first one up a little bit too high to, I think, get enough drive to do anything special. I saw Justin Hill and a couple times some of the 450 guys were going outside and going triple, but that's just happen chance, and those guys trying to find different lines that really weren't necessarily faster. So I like how in this version of it you can kind of huck a big line that wasn't really a line in real life, because just shows that you can do it, or those guys could have done something big with that section if they tried, but obviously there's restrictions to what they're able to do. And another thing about video games, that Sim, MX bikes, obviously Reflex, and most of the more arcade-based motocross video games can't get right, is I don't think you'll ever be able to accurately depict how riders soak up bumps or just jumps in general in real life to a video game, because so for Houston this last week, for example, those guys, most of the 250 guys and pretty much a lot of the 450 guys were going 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 all the way through the first rhythm section. And the only real reason for doing that and not trying to bust out a 3, which they clearly could have done a couple times in there, was to stay lower to the ground and soak up the jumps. And obviously they kept the power down. The jumps were pretty low, so they could stay lower to the ground. I just don't feel like you'll ever be able to. Maybe they will. Maybe there will come a time where there's a way that the game produces an accurate depiction of soaking up a bump. These games do a pretty good job when it comes to scrubbing, whipping, whoops, things like that, where the rider is moving physically a lot, but you can do things that make it work. I haven't seen anything yet that soaking up a double and staying really low to the ground like those guys can in real life, where they let the bike kick forward and they lean back really far and all that stuff. Never seen it work too well in a video game. So I think that's one thing that a track maker like KTM 6060 will always run into as a potential issue with trying to make it a perfect replica for everybody to play, is that you can't depict how easy or hard it will be for guys to stay lower to the ground on these rhythm sections, just because the way that they can move the bike in real life is, I feel a little bit more open and free than what you can do in a video game, obviously. So, but that's what I'm trying to point out, is that for the blueprint and for just a 3D rendering and not having much else to kind of work off of, and just kind of using his own his mind to make everything flow the best that he felt, I love this replica. I think he did a killer job, KTM 6060 on it, and that's why I'm playing it, because I would recommend to you guys that you guys go try it out, give it a shot. And obviously this is for PC only. I feel like I get that question more often than I should, but if you're playing on PC, you like Reflex, try it out. Just feel the difference. Even if you're not a Reflex guy, if you're a Sim guy, or hell, even if you're neither of those and you play Supercross Encore now, or you're MXGP exclusive, or if you have Reflex, I'd recommend just trying out this track and just seeing what it feels like, to get an idea of what is, in my opinion, a pretty properly scaled Supercross track, well built. just, I mean, kind of hits it all on the head with a good Supercross track. I hope to see more of these from him or from whoever else is helping with making replica tracks again this year for Reflex, because I think he did a good job. I like giving him a little praise when credit's due. So definitely check it out. Always in the description below to hit up a download link, try it out yourself. But if you're just here because you like listening to me, which is, I mean, kudos to you, but you don't have to always be here for that. I always like if you like the video, but if you're not subscribed either, there's a nice subscriber button that helps me out a ton if you subscribe. And let me know your comments or whatever concerns you have about this track in the comment section below. I'll be happy to get back to you, talk to you through it, help you out if you need help getting it in the game, and so on and so forth. But for Kellen here on Starter Systems, thanks for watching another video here on SYS, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So long for now.